So you just got back from the store or the market and you've got all this wonderful produce because you're going to eat healthy, right? You're going to be eating more fruits and veggies. So how do you keep it from rotting before you can consume it all? I'm here outside in my gorgeous Tanzanian garden. Hi, I'm Ama Opari. I'm a plant-based lifestyle coach, and here on this channel I share tips and tools you can use to create a healthy plant-based diet and lifestyle that you can stick to so that you can do the things that you want to do, that you're meant to do. If that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to click the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notifications so you'll find out every time I upload a new video. You can download a copy of my free ebook, Unlocking the Secrets to Creating a Flavorful Vegan Kitchen, or my ebook, How to Make the Right Decisions When You're Surrounded by All the Wrong Choices. The links are down below. You'll also find in the description box more about me and how you can find out about working with me to help you create the healthy diet and lifestyle that you desire. This video is inspired by an email I got from one of my email subscribers who asked me, how do I keep my produce fresh longer? How do I keep my produce from just rotting before I can eat? And I said, I bet you that she's not the only one that has that question. And so today I'm sharing my answers with you. So today here is my haul from the market, the open air market. I have a pineapple, some watermelon, oranges, mangoes, green peppers, avocados, strawberries, raspberries, tomatoes, some beautiful lettuce, carrots, bananas, passion fruit, and papaya. This will hopefully last me through the week. There's still some other things in my refrigerator, but this is the majority of what I'll be eating over the next week in my healthy plant-based diet. I eat a lot of fruit, and so, but there's some things that you can do to make sure that you can get it all eaten before it rots and you don't end up wasting and throwing away a lot of things. So when you have all this great produce, and here in Tanzania, oftentimes things are, very ripe because we don't have that, where like in the US, so much of the produce is brought in from so far away, and so it may be, I've picked, a very long time before it's actually ready to eat. Many things like these bananas are, really ready to eat right now. And so one of the things that you can do, the first thing that you can do, if it works for you in your schedule, is to go shopping more often. I know that traditionally in many cultures, I think here, that people will go sometimes daily to purchase what they want for their meals for that day. And fortunately here, there are many little shops, dukas, just along the road. You can very easily do that. If you want to have fresh sweet bananas, you can go just not that far down the road and you can get some. And so if that's possible, I know also many cultures in Europe, that was traditionally the way you would go each day and buy the things that you want to eat for that day. And I know that it's not really practical for many people when you're working, when the stores are not right in your neighborhood and you have to travel a long way. So, but that is an option, to purchase the fresh produce, the fresh things more often. The next thing you can do is to plan your meals around what's the ripest. And like I eat a lot of fruit salads or just fruit in the morning, and so I will start off with eating things like my strawberries and raspberries because I know that those will go bad the quickest. So I don't happen to have blueberries today, but when I do, those are usually the last berries that I eat because I know that, especially the strawberries, these will go bad really the fastest. If I don't eat these today and tomorrow, I'll end up throwing some of them away. So eat what's the most ripe and the most ready to go bad first. and then save the next thing. So you're like rotating, you're using it by the closeness of freshness. Another thing is to, if you are getting things that need some time to ripen on the counter, like this avocado, which happened to have come from my tree, is not ready. But this one is. So this one I would leave out on the counter until it's ripe. And this one I'll put in the refrigerator because I'm not really ready to eat it right now. So I'll put it in the refrigerator and then tomorrow when I do want to eat it, it'll still be ready. And then I'll watch this one closely, and as it's approaching readiness, it'll go in the refrigerator. I do the same thing with my mangoes. Like this one here is got some soft. So this one is, if I'm not going to eat it right away, I should put this one in the refrigerator. This one is still a little hard and has a few days to ripen. So this one will go on my fruit basket, and if I don't get a chance to eat it before it's really ready to be eaten, then I will put it in the refrigerator and wait. And that way you can stave off the going bad for a few days. Also, occasionally, I don't do this real often, is to cut, if something's really on the edge, like when I had mangoes coming off my tree and they were coming down, 10, 20 a day, I would cut them up and I have some in my freezer so that some other time when mangoes aren't so plentiful, I can do that. Bananas too, you can do that, and they don't look. These two I just pulled out of their refrigerator. They don't look so beautiful, but the inside is perfectly fine. And particularly if you're going to be cutting it up in a fruit salad or even just to eat it, it's fine. You could set it out on your counter for half an hour or so to let it warm up to room temperature. The other thing is, often I will, when it gets to be like this, I'll be saving it for making something like banana bread, or putting them in the freezer for making a raw banana ice cream. So that's a matter of thinking in terms of how many different ways and at different stages that you can use bananas or other things, and so plan for that. These ones too, the passion fruit. This one is really ready, and this one I will either use tomorrow morning or I'll put them in the refrigerator. This one has some days it can wait. Tomatoes I usually just leave out. And once again though, if I find that my tomatoes, I have a whole bunch that are going to be going bad really quick, then I'll look at my menu and decide on what I can make that will use a bunch of tomatoes. Is there a stew? Is there a pasta sauce? Is there a salad with a lot of tomatoes? How can I use what's about to go bad today or tomorrow so that I don't waste? With salad greens, one of the best ways is to rinse them just so they're clean and nice and moist, especially if they've been sitting out in the sun or something. You want to make sure they're hydrated, and then put them in a plastic bag and just seal it loosely and put them in the refrigerator, and you should be able to get them to last for several days, maybe even up to a week, especially if they are still attached to the stem. If they are loose leaves, they will go bad faster. So rinsing them and putting them in a bag, and then being careful about where you put them in your refrigerator. My refrigerator at the back, it gets very cold and things will just freeze, and then especially for lettuces and things, that's not good. So find the place in your refrigerator where it is the best temperature. If you have crisper drawers, maybe you want to put them in there. And crisper drawers are great for putting things like carrots and green peppers or other peppers, where it will keep it nice and cool, and these will last a very long time. Maybe a couple of weeks in the refrigerator. And if you pull them out and they're starting to feel a little limp, it doesn't mean you can't use them. You can use them in other in things that you're cooking, in stews and soups. If you want something crisp and raw, then you want to use them more quickly. With herbs, Once again, you can put them in a plastic bag in the refrigerator. You can dehydrate them and dry them so that you have dried herbs for later. You can even put them in the freezer. You can even chop them up and put them in the freezer so that you have a much better chance of having freshish tasting herbs when you're ready to use them. On another note, with both of these, lettuces and herbs and many things, if you can grow your own, do that. Even if it's on your windowsill or in a pot on your balcony. By growing your own, then you can just go out and pick just what you need for that meal today. And then, you may have moments where you have abundance and everything needs picking or it's going to go to seed, and then you're in the similar situation. But still, you can manage it much easier if you're growing your own and you can harvest only what it is you need for the moment. Much similar to buying only what you're going to need for the next day or two. Harvesting only what you need for the next day or two. And many greens, if you don't pick the whole plant, but just pick off the leaves of salad or kale or collards or whatever that you're going to need for the meal that you're going to make, the rest of the plant will stay and will just keep growing taller. I try to pick from the bottom the biggest leaves and leave the smaller ones and to keep growing and to mature. And that way you can extend the life of your plants, your garden plants. A trick that I learned just recently is in terms of your pineapple. So this pineapple, it looks pretty good. There's some green parts here though. And the trick that I learned was that if you can store it upside down, then the juice from the riper end will come down and will help ripen the other end. And so just stick it in a bowl or lean it up against the wall on your counter and let it sit like this. Let it ripen just like that. And in a day or two, that pineapple will be beautiful, perfectly ripe and ready to eat. And even if I'm not going to eat the whole thing, once I cut it, I will cut it at the ripe end and I will put a plate or something over the cut end and I will again store it upside down so that the juice from the riper end will seep down into the unriper end and let that get fresher. One other thing that I do is when I have, let's say tomorrow morning the raspberries and the strawberries are ready, and and actually I have a little bit of pineapple left over too that really needs eating. So I'll make a fruit salad using all of those things that are just about to go bad, or make it into a smoothie. And that way I can take care of the riper bits of all the various different varieties of fruits and veggies that I have, and have a delicious meal without wasting any of the produce. So those are my tips on keeping your fruits and veggies fresh. I would recommend that you do some searching online to find out what is the life span of different things, as well as just pay attention yourself. The first few times you may lose some things. This is a trial and error practice. It will depend on the time of year. Is it cold outside and your kitchen is cool, or is it hot outside and your kitchen is humid and hot, or it's hot and dry because it is cold out and you got your heat on? So it will depend on what the temperature is in your house, what the humidity level is in your house, the type of refrigerator you have. It will be a lot of it is trial and error and figuring out how to manage the atmosphere in your house. Yeah, so by making your menus adjust to what needs to be eaten, by rotating the things, putting them in the refrigerator as they get closer to getting spoiled, by using those things that spoil fastest first, by paying attention to how to help things ripen efficiently so that you don't end up with one end that's green and one end that's rotting, by learning what fruits and veggies like the best. Tomatoes tend to do better not in the refrigerator. Learn what each type of fruit and vegetable loves, likes in order for it to ripen and to stay ready to eat longest. And you can enjoy an abundance of fruits and veggies. You don't need to have half of what you buy go bad. Yeah, and like this watermelon here will be one of the last things that I cut open because it will stay pretty safe right in here. I will check everything on a regular basis just to make sure if it looks like there's some soft spots, some places where it looks like it's getting overripe. Then, you know, same thing with this papaya. I will check it every day to see, are there soft spaces, you know, does it look like it still has a couple of days left, and then I will make my decision about which fruits to use, which vegetables to use, what recipes to make based on the investigation that I have done on my available produce at that time. What tips do you have? What do you use to help you keep your fruit and veggies fresh? Leave a comment below. And if you have any questions, leave that below too, and I will answer them in the comments, or it may end up being a video. So that's it for today from my kitchen here in Arusha, Tanzania, on how to keep your fruits and veggies fresh longer so that you don't waste your money. If you like this video, be sure to click the like button. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video with others that you think could use this information and help spread the word about the work that I'm doing so that we can all become whole and healthy and create a healthy lifestyle that we can stick to. That's it for today. I'm Ama Opari here in Arusha, Tanzania. Kwaheri, goodbye.